Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the International Faculty Development Program. So we are on day 5. We started on 3rd of April, and this FDP focused on and is going to deliver all the sessions related to smart future technologies in AI, ML, and data analytics. Today, the session 1 is going to be delivered by an expert who is in the area which is related to these domains and will be expanding your knowledge. We welcome you all on behalf of Amity University in Tashkent and the whole Amity fraternity around the globe. So Amity University in Tashkent introduction. And now we have our resource person's name here, Janmejay Rai, known as Jay as a nickname. He's Agile coach, SPS, DevOps, architect, ethical hacker, and he is AVP, technology at Successive Technologies, Noida in India. He'll be delivering a lecture on human intelligence versus artificial intelligence. Can machines replace humans? Quite an interesting topic. And we have the privilege to introduce him to all of you. Janmejay Rai, or Jay, has 14 years of experience in the IT industry and comes from a strong programming background with Ruby on Rails as his core technical expertise. He has worked in various roles, ranging from a developer, DevOps engineer, technical project manager, SCRUM Scrum Master, Agile coach, and many more. He's a BTech electrical engineering, graduated in 2009 batch from Uttar Pradesh Technical University, UPTU, Lucknow, India. He holds multiple certifications. As you can see the list, which is a long list and is full of appreciations for him. He is also a reputed trainer and has provided many training sessions to the corporates around the world. In his free time, Jay likes watching cricket, listening to songs, spending time and with his wife and kid and family, and driving and lots of eating. He's a big time foodie and a street food lover. And of course, he's an expert in technology as well. So we invite you, Janmejay Rai ji, and we deliver this opportunity to all the participants to enjoy the lecture and enhance their knowledge. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this introduction. And let me just quickly share my screen.
Yes, sir.
And
it's visible.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So as in the introduction, Mr. Praveen mentioned that we are here for, in fact, this is the 5th day of your 1 week long FDP program. I hope you all would have been, learning a lot from the other, resource person who are invited and giving their, sessions over here in the various topics. So today we have gathered here to, understand about the difference between HI and AI, and a very common question which is coming to everyone's mind these days, whether, the AI will be able to, replace humans or not. Well, this question is not a surprise to me because it's been in my entire professional career today, there were multiple occasions where these kind of questions did come up. We used to have these kind of conversations in our previous, in the old, earlier days of our career with the superiors, with one of my mentors, that the way the technology is advancing, are we going to a stage where these machines are going to take over the humans? And in fact, I hope most of you would be following a lot of Hollywood movies where they have multiple movies showcasing the machines taking over the humans and trying to capture the entire city, and then at the end it is the human who takes it over and then brings the devastation back control. So there are multiple web series available, multiple movies available where these subjects have been touched over these years, and it has been shown through various perceptions. Like somewhere it is shown that it is good that machines are helping us, and somewhere it has been shown that the technology advancements at time can lead to devastations as well for the human race. So I would term it as a more of a debatable, topic. And it also depends upon from what from what side of the coin you are actually looking at it. Now, if I look at it from the way it helps us in a daily life, for sure it is something which has to be there. But then if because every aspect has a alternate perspective as well. So if I see from the other side of the coin, obviously there are factors which comes with these kind of advancements. So in today's session of mine, we will try to see compare between the HI and the AI and see how it is going to help us, whether it is going to help us or not. And we'll try to by the end we'll try to come up with the answer to the question, like whether machine will really be able to replace the humans or not. Now, moving to the most important segment, which is one of my favorite thing, and I always do it in all my sessions. Like, there's no agenda for the session. Now, there are multiple times where people have actually asked that if you are delivering a session, there has to be an agenda. So I am of a habit where I never give any agenda. I always ask for the agenda from the people who are actually coming and attending the sessions, because that is what drives me, that is what connects me with the audience. So if we are able to get that answer, and Dr. Seema, if you can help me with this, can we get these answers from the participants, like what do you want from this session today?
Sure, sure.
So let's take next 2 minutes and get few answers from them. Like what is the expectation? What do they expect out of this? Almost a 2-hour session. So what is the expectation? I know what I have to cover, but then I would, if I run it that way, it would be more of me putting it on the audience. So I would also rather want to hear from them as to what their expectation is. And try to be as realistic as possible. And one expectation which I would like to set from my side would be, I cannot guarantee that after this 1.5 to 2 hour session, you will be you'll become a rocket scientist, and will be able to give a very concrete answer that no, AI is good or HI is good. So we will basically be collaborating together and trying to find out a logical answer to it, giving valid reasons as to why HI is good and why AI is good. Any answers yet?
Only one question is there. Learning something new. Participants, please do active.
Well, I would actually take this as a good point, because if you remember the Three Idiots scene where the professor asked so there was a question which was asked by the role which was played by Amir Khan. He wrote a name, and people were just started searching for that name in their books, whereas that name was not even available. So, and then he mentioned that why did we not think about learning something new? So I would actually appreciate the person who wrote this, because that is something that is actually the right approach of coming to any session. So this is just a short session of what we are going to cover today, but then I would actually appreciate the person who wrote this.
Somebody is saying connection between AI and human brain activities. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see what can be covered.
Somebody is saying how human intelligence is super than human being.
Okay. Okay.
And
Some flavor of it is there.
yes. Somebody is saying, what is the cons and pros of technology? We talk about the benefits, but how negative it can impact humanity. And we should aware and what are the risks which government has to face.
Okay.
I think decision making. So here, one or two more questions. Important ML in real time. Machine learning as substitute or complement in future. Okay, need to. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. That sets the tone for me. So
Mhm.
that's majority of those things I've tried to cover here, and if they were not covered, then probably we can cover it off during the Q&A session at the end.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
all right. So thanks a lot, Dr. Sima, for that. And moving ahead. So this is about me. So this one has already been narrated, so I'm not going to repeat again. So it's my the only thing which I would add on to it with the stuff which was mentioned at the start was that my association with Amity is like good I guess 7 to 8 years now. I was just trying to calculate that when was the first time I got associated. It was look good 7 to 8 years now, and good to see that this they have expanded. They've gone to Uzbekistan as well, and doing these kind of sessions there. Earlier it was the Noida campus who used to do it. So for me, this is the first time when the I've been called for this session from the Tashkent campus. So thanks a lot for having me here. Now the kind of certifications which I have done, it's a long list. It is in fact even longer than what you see on your screen, and there is a reason to it. So my belief is that if you have, and this is more in line towards the kind of industry in which we work. So the IT industry is more about, if you say that you know this, you have worked this, they always try to ask for some documentation or a proof that, okay, if you say that or you are an expert in Git, so how do you certify that? So all these lists actually is a result of that only, and frankly speaking, none of these were ever sponsored by anyone. All of these was my own savings which got invested, and it has given me results. So I keep on doing it, and that's how it is. I always try to keep myself up to date with the latest trends which happens in the industry, and the current one which I'm doing is it's kind of one thing which I've always dreamt for is getting into the hacking domain, understanding the security of the applications, how and thinking from how the people can actually hack your system. So we have already all seen those movies, the Bollywood movies, the Hollywood movies, where they show the hackers doing some random commands on their screens. Frankly speaking, those are just Linux commands being run, and not only Linux commands, it's just a wallpaper which comes. I was also of the opinion that they were actually doing it, but then when I got into this and started learning about it, that's when I came to know that hacking is not what they show there. So that is one thing which I'm pursuing these days. Now, coming back to the topic, so we'll first start off with the human intelligence, which is HI. So, can any one of you help me in defining what HI is? I would need, so I always try to keep it as interactive as possible, and you all would need to, help me out with this. So if you can just write what HI as per you is. Is someone writing anything? No one interested to define what HI is. Okay. Act and understand the situation as per past learning. All right. Ability of human arriving at a conclusion based on previously gained knowledge and experience and taking action based on that. Okay. Okay. I still take this. Act according to the data set. Okay. So how will you define the data set? Like from the AI perspective, I understand the data set, but from the HI perspective, the human intelligence, the humans, what would be that data set? Okay, general mental ability for reasoning, problem solving, and learning. Okay. All right, fair enough. So let me just define the HI for you. So HI, as per Howard Gardner, who is American psychologist, as per him, it is the ability to solve problems within that are valued within one or more cultural settings. So it's more of from the human's perspective, it is more of the ability to solve the problems. And how you solve a problem, there are multiple ways of solving a problem. And if you see on your screen, I've also tried to show the 9 different types of intelligence. This is linked to the human intelligence only. So, and this is all based on how the American psychologist Howard Gardner, and he's actually a famous psychologist. He defines and he has actually bifurcated into 9 different types of intelligences which are available. So one is intrapersonal. So what actually is intrapersonal? So intrapersonal is understanding yourself. So as a humans, how do we learn? How do we react? So and if you consider the time when when you came into this world, like when as a baby, when you come into this world, there are a lot of learnings which we do. Like the mother teaches multiple things, then you learn from the surroundings, then you start going to the preschools, there you start learning. So there are a lot of learnings which keeps on going. So the data set which was mentioned as one of the answers, so this will be your real-time data set which gets added in your brain. Now from there, what happens is the learnings which keeps on happening. Now the moment, and the very I should say the very basic example for that would be the moment you start your professional life. At times you say that, okay, I'm a fresher and I would need help from, like let's take a specific example of the PhD students. So the moment they enroll for this course, they gets assigned to one of their professors who already done that, and they guide them in the area where that person would like to do the research. Now, why this happens? Because that path is very important. Like a field for which I don't even, like, I have to do a research in an areas, and I have no idea as to how to proceed. So you will not able to learn anything. And that's the difference between a person who's starting fresh versus a person who has already invested good amount of time in that specific industry. So that's how you learn. So all those learning becomes your data set. It gets in your brain. So the next time when you are in that situation, your mind automatically start giving you signals that that these kind of scenarios you have already tackled in the past. These were the mistakes which you did. This is how one of your colleague or one of your seniors helped you in rectifying those situations. So, and now you are able to act fast. That becomes the data set for humans. That is what the human intelligence is. Nobody is actually feeding anything inside your brain. All this is happening on a very real-time basis, based on your interactions with people, based on your what you hear, what you see, and how you react or respond to those situations. Now, can anyone help me understand the difference between react and respond, and which one is good? Is reacting to a scenario good, or responding to a scenario is good? Reacting is responding. Okay, responding is good. All right. So all those people who are saying responding is good, can you explain me why responding is good and why not reacting good? I have a very bad habit of asking a lot of questions to the audience, so you have to keep on answering it. Response as its backed reason and logic is not on. Okay. Reacting is instant. All right. Now, if you are in a situation where you are, having a heated conversation, or not, let's not get into heated conversation. You are having a conversation which may lead to a heated conversation. So, what would be best in those scenarios? Okay, you keep on reacting to it or keep on responding to it? So by the time you guys answered the first question, I've already thrown a second question as well. Okay, reacting is good. All right. Now, why reacting is good? Yes, at times, not responding is also a very good way of letting the conversation just calm down. That's also a way of handling situations. So from where you get these scenarios? Nobody is actually feeding all these things inside your brain. It's all these are coming because you have seen those situations. You have handled those situations. You have heard other people handling these situations and sharing those situations with you. So that is becoming the data set for you on a real-time basis. Right. Now, the 9 types of intelligence which we were talking about. So one is your intrapersonal, where you sit down, do a lot of introspection within you, and try to find out what exactly you want. Like when we were in class 10th or graduating from class 12, there were a lot of questions which used to come into our mind, like what should we do, what should we choose, should we go into engineering, should we go into uh, the MBA field, or should we get into a business, what should we do? So and if you get to a career counselor, the first and foremost thing which that person will do is he'll try to extract those answers from within you, because then only he'll be able to help you out with those to clear out your doubts. So that is what more of your intrapersonal skills as well, where you sit down and decide and think through that what exactly you want. This is the first type of intelligence when it comes to HI. Second one is linguistic. Now, linguistic is more of the words which you choose. Now, at times you might have heard about people saying that you should choose the right words in front of people with whom you are speaking. That can be your seniors, your subordinates, your family members, your spouse, your kids, anyone. That is where the linguistic intelligence comes into picture. You cannot just speak whatever you want in front of anyone. So that is the linguistic intelligence which comes into picture. And frankly speaking, when you are on a daily basis, we actually use all these kind of intelligence, but because we are not aware of it, we don't even acknowledge the fact that you are already using different kind of intelligence which is already imbibed in your brain. And it is also said that humans are the most complex creations of God. And inside the humans, the human brain is the most complex structure in terms of the kind of wiring it has, the neural wiring it has. That is the most complex structure. And there are multiple studies available where people are actually trying to read or understand the structure as to how this entire brain is formed, how it gives you the how it is able to respond to certain situations. Like here, if I'm telling you something, like nobody is feeding me that this is what you need, this is what you have to speak, this is what this is the sequence of your speech. Nobody has done that. It all comes from your brain. It gives you the direction, it sends those signals, and you just keep on doing it. So it is the human brain where all these are already there. Yes, there are few things which you try to learn, try to imbibe as well, but those are your improvement areas. It is not that because there are multiple trainings which are available for linguistic to improve your linguistic intelligence, to improve your intrapersonal skills. There are multiple trainers available who will help you out in those capturing your intrapersonal skills as well. So it is not that it is already not imbibed in you. It is just that you need to just refine it more to utilize it as your own benefit. The third one is bodily kinesthetic. Now, this is more of coordination between the mind and the body. And this usually comes in when, and this is most common when you are a sports person. Because for them, the coordination between the mind and the body is very important. Specifically for people who are into athletics, running. Their body and their mind, they need to understand. People who play who are into boxing, they need to have that coordination set up, because within fractions of seconds they need to take a decision as to for which punch they need to give to get the winning point in their favor. So they train their brains accordingly. They do a lot of practice, and there's a very good concept which is called train the brain. So it is nothing but making your brain not control you, but you are trying to control the brain. That is more of feeding the brain that, okay, this is how you need to either react or respond. And if you can actually Google it, and you'll find multiple resources available for how you train the brain. So train the brain is just the concept, and post that there are multiple things which people have actually posted, like train the brain as to when to react and when to respond. Train the brain as when how you present yourself in some in certain situations. So you can actually read about this concept. It's a very, very good concept. You can read about it on Google. There are multiple books available, there are multiple blogs available, so you can go ahead and read it. It's a very good concept. Then comes your interpersonal skills. Now, what is interpersonal skills? Now, we say that for some people, they are very much emotional. They understand the feelings of others, very easily. They get emotional based on seeing someone else emotion coming out. That is what the interpersonal intelligence is all about. How you uh, you know how you are able to feel those emotions of others. Now, there are few people who have no say, for example, I'll take the examples of the people who work in the defense area, the army people, the people who are protecting us at the borders. So for them, they actually have to train their brain to remove the interpersonal intelligence, because as a human, you will have that emotion for the other human, but then the job in which they can only limit this interpersonal intelligence with the people who are their own countrymen, not for others. Because if they are harming our country, in return you have to make sure that you are protecting the country. So at times, either one of these, you will have to overcome that intelligence, and that's where the train the brain concept comes into picture. Then the next one is existential. So this is more of tackling the different kind of questions which comes, and like this is more from people who are from the psychological background. They try to find out different kinds of answers, like why are we living here, what is the intent of living, why we came into this structure, why every human being has a different structure, different color. So that is your existential intelligence. So all not all 9 intelligence are equally distributed for every individual. They may be different in different individuals, and at times people also study and try to overcome few of them as well. Like for sports person, it is more of bodily kinesthetic, which is more important. For people who are in the corporate world, for them it is more of the logical thinking which becomes more important. For people who are from the psychological background, there it is existential, and at times it is linguistic as well. Linguistic, I would say, it is more common with everyone, because it talks about how you speak in front of anyone. So linguistic is common. But then the others, they may be, some may have few of these more, and few less as well. So it's not an equal distribution which is there in your mind. Then comes the next one, which is the logical or the mathematical one. This is more where you are trying to quantify things. You are trying to find out. You are actually, whatever the things which you are seeing in front of you, you are trying to come up with a logical answers to it. It is not that if I say that, like, for example, Newton. We all know that anything which you like an apple, it has to come down because of the gravity. But then, because Newton was Newton, he said that I have to prove this theory. Now, for me, if you say that, okay, I'm throwing an apple, it has to come down, for me, it will be like, okay, this is how it is. But then the people who have these kind of intelligence overpowering the other one, they are the ones who try to find out the logical reasons to it. They try to find out, like, the as to why a certain thing is happening. So all these great scientists who are who have given us good theories, which we have learned during the childhood days, which we keep on learning in our graduations, post graduations, doctorates. So all these, those were the people who gave us those, where we say that those proven facts that if something is happening, there was a logical reasoning behind it. So that comes from the logical intelligence perspective. Next one is musical. So this is more from the from like listening to music, or maybe having more inclination towards singing, playing different instruments as well. So for them, their musical intelligence is actually more. Their sense of music is more. They are able to relate everything with music. So if you have anyone in your known who is a singer, or who is a musician, so if you talk to them, everything which they talk about, it is linked to any kind of music. Even if they are hearing the dogs barking, or the birds with their sounds which they make, they link everything with the music. And the reason why they do it is because their musical intelligence is more in their mind. The sense of music is more for them. That is how they are able to do it. The last one is uh, naturalist. So naturalist is more of it is understanding the living things and reading more about natures. So you'll find a lot of people who study about nature, who study about what nature has given, what more can be done. They study about if a sunlight is coming, what other different things which it is going to do on the plants, on the soils, on the human body. So that is where they read about, they try to find out the traces inside in the nature, and what are the different things which the mother nature has given us. So for them, it is the uh, you know naturalist piece intelligence comes into picture, which is more prominent in them. So overall, these are the 9 different types of intelligence which is already imbibed in human brain, inside the human being. And it is just that you need to identify within yourself, and you don't even have to identify. In fact, it is the brain who gives you those instructions. Like, for example, if I am talking to my family member, or if I'm talking to my kid, or if I'm talking to my spouse, the way I speak, the way I will be responding to their questions or conversations would be different. And the way if I am interacting with one of my colleague in the office, the tone changes, the words changes. And if I am delivering a seminar like this, if I am taking a session somewhere, my choice of words would be different. So from where it is coming, it is already there, imbibed in your brain. You are just utilizing it. The brain is sending signals. It senses that, okay, you are in this situation, so this is how you need to speak. So everything is already there inside your human brain. Everything resides there, and it sends those signals, and you are able to react, respond, or to those situations. Now there's one question: is the human brain and machine intelligence decisions are same? Okay, so and this is coming from Shruti. Okay, so Shruti, what happens is, when you compare the human brain with a machine, now machine does not have anything which is coming natural to them. Now, who has created machine? Now it is we who created machine. So whatever you feed in, that is what the machine will know. Now, if you and I will assume that you must have seen the movie Robot from and they have actually touched this topic pretty well, where they have showed you the difference between human and robots. And if you remember that scene where a robot is taken to the defense, and where it was claimed that it will help you with the with your defense related activities, but then because the human emotions was also added to it, so then the robot actually took the human emotions you know up more. And then he mentioned that we should not go for war, and he took out a red rose there. So it is the human brains who is able to acclimatize to those situations, and they are able to either react or respond. But as compared to machines, because machines are nothing but a sequence of code which has been given, written. Yes, there are a lot of different, I should say, the models which are created now, the AI models which exist in the industry these days. One of the very common which has surfaced in the internet these days is the Chat GPT. I hope everyone might have used it. So they have a large data set in the background which keeps on training themselves. So there are models which self-train themselves. And how they self-train? There are data which is feed in. Whatever you ask those chatbots, those machines, that gets recorded. And based on that, they will be better able to respond to your queries later. So if you ask from me as a personal opinion, I would say the decisions which a human brain is taking, those are far much better as compared to the decisions which the machine is taking. Because machine is more of it goes by the sequence of the code which has been given to you. But the human brains, they will utilize their the learnings in the past, the how things are going, and then whatever you have learned in the past. I know you might debate with me that I can actually train my model as well, so that my machine also gives me those responses. But frankly speaking, even then the human brains are still more capable of giving you more realistic decisions as compared to the machine decisions which is being provided. I hope that answered your question. Now moving to the next. Now, how do you measure the human intelligence? So they must have you all must have heard about multiple IQ tests which are done. So that is one way of, or I should say, one of the most common way of testing the human intelligence. Apart from that, we have the emotional quotient as well, and the third one is the spiritual quotient. So all these was actually started in the early 1990s, when Binet and Simon, they actually developed the first intelligence test, which was the intelligence test in schools, and it was nothing but a questionnaire which was prepared, and the test was run in a school on school going students. And from there they calculated the score, the IQ score, which was calculated. Now the Stanford Binet, this is actually the most commonly used or generally used IQ test which is used. Apart from that, we have the adult intelligence scale, which is WAIS, that is the most commonly used IQ test in the US. So they have their own, they have created a sequence of tests for the adults in the US, which was created, and using that, they try to find out what are the what is the IQ level of a person, and what was the need of finding the IQ level of a person. Now, can someone explain me, like a thing which is given by default, or it is coming by default inside your body? What was the need to measure that? Can anyone answer this for me? Anyone? It seems people have not had their lunch, or they are feeling sleepy. Okay, some sort of having idea regarding efficacy of brain function. Okay. Evaluate mental abilities. Okay. Now, say if I, if I take the answer which Fatima has mentioned, like evaluation of mental abilities. Now, what if I find, calculate the IQ level, and it is like a low IQ score? Now, what next? What will I do with that? Because if I'm trying to measure something, there has to be some outcome. Like if you go for a blood test and there are certain tests which are being done, there is always an outcome to it, right? So if your hemoglobin comes down, so doctor gives you something as a remedy to it. So if I'm getting something measured, what is the outcome of it? It seems I'm a very bad teacher. Keeping on asking questions. Education sector for placements. Okay. Now, if the IQ level is low, does it mean that I'm not applicable for getting placements? Is that only what the outcome would be? Or are you getting this correlated to the different kinds of tests which the organizations take? This is actually different from that. So they are more, those tests are more inclined towards finding the right capabilities. But this is more of the finding out how intelligent a person is. So the IQ levels, like, okay, improving cognitive skills. And how do you improve the cognitive skills? By the way, the questions are not only asked for one person. It is being asked for everyone. So if I'm asking questions, that does not mean that only one person has to answer all those. Okay. All right. Yep. In the growing. All right. Now, if I have a IQ score which falls under the low category. Now, how will my parents help me in terms of growing? Exactly. Correct. So that's what we also do with the machines as well. Like we get training. So if we are weak in certain areas, we get training, right? For example, the sports person, they get trained and they do training on a regular basis to make sure that they are enhancing their skills. So all these kind of IQ tests which are done, they are just done to find out whether in what category you actually fall. All right, so now I'm going to show you how this is what is actually the score bell curve and where a normal human being actually falls. So it actually starts from 55. So the lowest IQ score which has been found out would be 55, and the highest goes till 145 and beyond. So it is 145 and beyond. So it can be uh, any number post 145. Those are like extremely gifted, and it is in terms of percentage, it is 0.13% of the total population around the world. Now, the highest IQ people till date, which the world have seen, at the top it is Blaise Pascal. Then we have and the score was 195. Now you can imagine how much of in God gifted this person would have been, like with a score of 195, where the average score is between 85 to 115. This is your average score. So as a normal human being, if I go and get my IQ test done, it will actually fall between 85 and 115. And anything which goes below 85, it's not that there is something problematic with you, but yes, your certain factors of your intelligence areas are at a lower end. You can get trained and increase that as well. And anything which is even less than 70. So if the IQ scores are less than 70, then that becomes the cause of concern, because then you may have mental instabilities, and you have to consult a doctor to get certain things done. But in terms of percentage, it is the 2.3% of the overall population that the people fall into that category. Majority of the people are under the 85 to 115. So from here, you actually will be able to find out that where do I stand, and what are the areas of improvement. So this IQ test, whenever it is done, it actually shows you a very detailed report as well. Apart from giving you the number, it also gives you the area of improvements as well, like which factors are actually the areas where you can work upon. Now, any questions till here? Anyone?
Sir, there are two questions in the Q&A which came, I would say, half an hour ago during the interaction.
Let me just read it.
You can see that.
At which level we can replace human intelligence by using AI in India? That means what is successive rate for, I hope this is success rate for implementation in India. Now see, and this is coming from Roshan. So Roshan, with a country like India, where you have different cultures, you have different dialects of the language which we speak. So it will be very difficult to predict where the entire human intelligence will be replaced by AI. Because if you see that the Tesla car, which was tested, in fact, it actually failed a very basic test in India. Reason being, here things are not that predictive as compared to countries like US, the UK, where things are more predictive. So I would say, specific to country like India, it's still, there's good amount of road which needs to be covered yet. But then, having said that, there's a lot of AI adoption which has already been done. In fact, during this COVID era, when it all started off in the year 2020, specifically March 2020, the adoption of AI, these bots and all those things, that actually came as a boom, because most of your customer queries, so specific to the customer care segment, there people started relying more on the chatbots. So they had their bots implemented, where there's a series of questions, and you choose one, and there were a series of answers. Then they trained their bots to have a conversation with you as well. So we have already started adopting it, but I would say I don't see a place where the entire HI would be replaced, and there are a lot of ground which has been covered.
Uh, Sir, there's one more question which came from Dr. Adil Kamal. Is IQ fixed or variable over the lifespan?
It is variable. It is never fixed. And the reason why it is variable, because there are a lot of learnings which you do over, on a daily basis. So if you compare, or rather not even compare, if you look at a child, so as a child, you keep on learning a lot. They if they are watching a movie, they learn a lot of things. If they are sitting with you, they keep on listening to you, how you speak, how you interact with others. So they try to learn those things, and same goes with the people who are like people like us. So we also learn from various resources, like seminars, or reading blogs, going through some content on the net, doing certain courses, certifications. So the learning never stops. So if you are learning something, the IQ also gets changed over the period of time. Now, if you try to do it, very frequently, you might not get those answers to it. But over the period of time, if you take those tests again and again, you will see the difference.
We are getting questions both in chat as well as in the Q&A, sir. So if you want to take them now, or you want them to be taken at the conclusion?
I'll just
as
have
you
a
said.
quick look at it.
Yeah, because they relate to IQ right now.
IQ is by a person who can be enhanced by. Okay, there are a couple of them which I'll take now, and then we'll proceed. So I'll take this one. IQ is birth of. So it is by birth, it is there, but then over the period of time, you actually enhance those skills. So now you all know that the moment a baby is born, it is considered that the brains gets developed in the first 5 years. The 80 to 90% of your brain gets developed in the first 5 years itself. So during those first 5 years, that becomes a very crucial stage. And so, but then it is not that you do not have the IQ already there. It's just that all those intelligence are in a very raw stage. So the first 5 to 6 years, those are more inclined towards giving the shape to those levels. Like if the mud is it has a water content is more, so whatever shape you want, you keep it in, it actually imbibes the shape of that particular structure. So that's how the human brains are as well. So the initial 5 years, the way you try to mold it, it will actually shift to those areas. All right. So moving next. So next is your artificial intelligence. Now, what exactly is AI? Now, if I talk about in simple terms, it is the study and the development of computer systems that can copy the human intelligence behavior. It's just a copy of things which is being done. But then if I talk specifically with the technology world, with the computer science, then the AI relates to human-like intelligence, which is constructed by a computer. So it is the computer who's constructing those human-like intelligence, and it refers to a capability by the computer, by the machine, or by a small application to intimate the characteristics of the human brain. So it is the human brain's characteristics which it is trying to imitate by replicating its intelligence. So whatever there is in my brain, that is getting replicated into the machine. Now, before we get in more detail, let's see a very brief history, because whenever we talk about AI, we also should see as to when it all started. So it was in mid 1950s when John McCarthy, gave the first paper where he introduced the concept of AI. And he is actually known as the father of artificial intelligence. And there's one more thing of which John McCarthy is known for. He is known for creating the Lisp programming language. How many of you have heard about John McCarthy before? Okay, Dr. Seema has, I know. Anyone else? Okay. Now I guess you know who John McCarthy is. And so he is known for two things. One, he is known as the father of artificial intelligence. And second, he is the one who actually created the Lisp programming language as well. And now, why there was a need of AI? Now, can anyone help me in answering this? Why was there a need of AI? Why even John McCarthy introduced in mid 1950s, that it was specifically 1956 when this paper was presented and he introduced it. So why there was a need of artificial intelligence? Was there something which was not going in our favor, or was there something else? Any reason for introducing AI? What was that thing which was not being done by the humans? Okay, automation, growing complexity of problems. Okay, but then the complexity of problems were, in fact, it was the humans only who solved that problem. For smart thinking, okay, helping in predicting, increasing the predictability, okay. Automation is good, predictability is good, unification of heterogeneous systems, okay. Data processing, all right. So there are in fact multiple reasons why it came into picture. With a growing demand of data, with the growing need of because if you remember now, how many of you have either worked or heard about big data? I hope you all must have heard about big data, because that is something which is very common. So what exactly big data was? So big data was introduced to handle very large amount of data. Now I cannot only limit myself in saying large amount of data, but because for big data it was the huge amount of data which it was handling. So similarly, when you want to handle those huge amount of data and you want to process it much faster, that's where the need of intelligent systems came into picture. And that's where all these the need of AI arose, chatbots rose. People started creating small chatbots. Then some intelligent bots came into picture, where they were able to train themselves based on the questions which were being asked by humans. So that's where the need of AI actually rose. And in a broader way, you can compare the AI in two categories. One is the narrow AI and the other is general AI. Now, what is narrow AI? So narrow AI is something which is able to perform things in a single take. And it is actually being able to provide specific task that the system can perform in a single iteration in the most intelligent way, without being very doing very complex programming in it. And that is the reason why it is called a narrow AI, because there is not not more of a very complex programming is involved. Like, and the biggest example for that, or the most simplest example for it, would be Siri. For the Apple users, it is Siri, and then for Google as well, they have a AI voice assistant which can be used. Then under the narrow AI, we have a concept of machine learning and deep learning. Now, I hope you must have heard about machine learning and deep learning, and the differences between both of them. Or is it a new concept for everyone? Is it a new concept for everyone? Okay. All right. So I'll just give you a very high level difference between machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning is something which consumes the data and uses that data for creating the statistical analysis for it. Now, why statistical analysis? Because the statistical analysis at times is also used to study the historical data and make the adjustments to it. So that is where the machine learning concept comes into picture. It is more of a supervised learning, where a data set is provided, and on it certain rules the algorithm runs, and the as an output you get a full entire detail of how the data perform and what are the areas of and based on that you can actually infer and bring out the areas of improvement. The deep learning, which is also called as deep neural learning, it is a type of a machine learning technique only, but it tries to imitate the way the human brain tries to imbibe something and give a response to it. So that becomes the major difference between a machine learning and a deep learning. Now, the other two, the second one of the type of AI is general AI. So normal we have seen it is more of a where not much of a complex programming is involved. It is more of a straightforward and but a general AI. So this is where we try to intimate the human brain, the way the human brain would imbibe and respond to those situations. Here we try to generate that, create a simulation of it, and then come up with a system. Certain examples as to how these AI applications are used. It is used in speech recognition systems. So speech recognition system is more of a Siri or a Google voice assistant, Alexa. These are multiple example these days where you speak to them, and they'll respond accordingly. Then we have the natural language processing, which is also called as NLP. Now, this is basically to understand, interpret, and generate the human language. Now, for example, the language, translations. So, if I have to translate from one language to another, so how those languages are being done. So, if I am talking in Hindi and I have to convert it into English. So there are softwares available. The easiest is your Google Translator, where you, if you want to just speak to it, or you can type it, and it converts you to those the language like English or any other thing. So that comes under the NLP. Then we have the image recognition softwares as well. So image recognition softwares, if you so it is very much common in the corporate world, where instead of the biometric, now they have taken the face recognition. So if you just pass through it, it will recognize your face and allow you entry. Then you have and the very most common face image recognition or face recognition is there in your mobile phones, be it the Apple phones or be it the normal Android phones. Every phone now has a face recognition option, using which you will be able to unlock your phone. So that is again an example of AI. So what exactly you do the moment you are enrolling your face there, you are educating the model which is there inside your phone. You are training them to recognize your face, and it also asks you to tilt your face in multiple angles, so that because not every time your phone will be like just in front of you. There will be different angles through which you can actually go ahead and place your phone in front of your face, but still your mobile is able to recognize that, okay, this is the owner of the mobile who is trying to unlock the phone. So all these are done using the image recognition thing. Now, here I have tried to show where how the history of AI has evolved, the key dates along with the names. So it started off in 1950s, where in that there was a paper which was published, and it was during the World War II when it was published in 1956. It was John McCarthy who coins the term artificial intelligence for the first time. Then 1967, it was Frank Rosenblatt who built the Mark I perception. It was the first computer-based on a neural network. It was the first computer-based AI. In 1980s, the neural networks which use which used an algorithm to train itself. That became very widely used in the AI applications. 97, it was IBM's Deep Blue that it beats the world chess champion Gary Kasparov. How many of you remember this match? The famous 1997 match where Gary Kasparov actually lost that match versus the IBM's Deep Blue. So that again was one of the AI, AI achievement which was logged, where the machine was able to win a match, from a person who is known as the world chess champion of those times. Then came in 2011, IBM Watson. It beats the champion Ken Jenkins and Brad Rutter at Jeopardy. In 15, it was Minwa's supercomputer, which used a special kind of deep neural network called a convolutional neural network to identify the different images at a higher accuracy as compared to the average human accuracy. So that was the first supercomputer which was able to identify and recognize images at a more higher rate. Then came in 2016, it was DeepMind's AlphaGo program, uh, you know, which was launched, and there were a lot of possible moves which were given. So these were some of the key dates which I wanted to present over here. Now, what are the different things which AI can do for us? How we can leverage AI? So these are certain things which AI can do. It can give you, it can play games with you. We can have chatbots for a customer service. We can have automations. We are in place. Like in majority of the industry these days, it is the machines who are doing a lot of work as compare versus the humans. Now, the biggest advantage which the AI has given to the human race is it has decreased the turnaround time for any work to be done. Now, if I take an example of the apparel industry, where the clothes are being manufactured. So, with the introduction of these kind of systems and the automations in place, the machines in place, you are able to, manufacture a lot and lot of, or rather, I should say, the manufacturing have now been started in bulk as compared to what it was earlier when it was being done manually. So it is the biggest advantage which we have got is that the turnaround time for any manufacturing industry has gone down. My turnaround time for interaction with the customer care has gone down. Like, I do not have to wait on phone for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes for a human agent to come and talk to me and resolve my even small queries. So we have installed chatbots there. The AI based chat agents are there who are helping the people in solving majority of the queries. Now, we cannot say that they have easily replaced the humans, because at times there are few queries which needs human intervention. And even in our industry as well, there's always a human touch which needs to be provided to everyone. And frankly speaking, that is till the time you do not get that human touch, you will not be able to get satisfied with how things are going. Because with great customer experience, it only comes from when you give those human touch to it. Like in our organization, so we are in the services industry. We cater to clients all across the globe. We provide them consulting services. We provide them software services. So it is not that we have systems in place who can get the things done for us, but even then we get on a call with the customers. We try to get their feedbacks. We try to jot down the points which becomes our area of improvements. That increases the relationship between you and your customer more. But having said that, at times the tools also helps me in or these kind of systems also helps me in sorting it out. Now I cannot go ahead and talk to each of these customers on a daily basis. So for them, I have my systems in place. I have my AI agents in place which are doing that work for me. But then over a period of time, we can have those the human touch as well with the people, so that they can have an interaction. They also feel that there are some humans who are interacting with us. So they are not only relying to what we are what the systems are doing. They can actually talk to some real humans as well, where we both can build that relationship. Then we have from the healthcare sector, there are very good achievements which has been made with respect to AI, where you can do the robots are actually doing a lot and lot of surgeries, and those robots are actually deployed on cloud. So you don't have to worry about the deployments at a local facility, where you have to work on the maintenance of those things as well. These days the cloud is providing a lot and lot of services, where you deploy everything on the cloud, and from a century everything is being controlled from that location itself. So you can actually so a surgeon can do a live surgery by sitting in US and the surgery is happening in AIIMS Delhi. So that's still that is an achievement which the AI has done in the health sector. So because earlier stage, the surgeons have to travel from one place to another to get the surgeries done. But now, because of these technology and advancements, we have these robots doing it, and the person can be sitting like multiple miles away and controlling it from there. Then we have a lot of pattern recognition are there. We have these NLPs which are there. We have the image processing systems are in place, where instead of your passcode, you can actually add your biometric authentication. You can have your face recognition as well. So there are multiple use cases where the artificial intelligence can help you in overcoming your experience with the customer, and giving and lowering down the the entire turnaround time for any activity to be done. Moving to the next piece, this is more coming to the differences between the AI and HI. So we have seen what HI is, we have seen what AI is, what are the advantages, what are the use cases. Now let's see how different they are. Like what is the major difference between both of them? Now, from the human intelligence perspective, it is the human beings who is using their brain power, and the machines obviously will be it will be dependent on the data which is being provided to them. So any machine, the effectiveness of any machine will depend on the effectiveness of the data which is being fed to that machine. Then the humans can easily adopt, because you do not have to program anything. You do not have to test anything. It gets imbibed in your brain on a real-time basis. Whereas for a AI to incorporate or adjust to changes, your models have to be trained, and it has to be fed inside the system. Then only the AI will be able to accept a new change which is available. From the watts perspective, from the energy consumption perspective, the human beings use about 25 watts, whereas now, because this is a system can be in a piece of chip as well. So that is the reason they use 2 watts of worth of energy. Humans cannot beat the speed of computers. Now, this is a proven fact that you will not be able to beat the speed of a computer, the speed at which the calculations which are done by the computers. Humans will not be able to match that speed. And then from the human's perspective, the human intelligence, it aims to adopt new environments on a regular basis. And how this is done? It is done by utilizing the different combination of cognitive processes, the different cognitive processes which happens. Based on that, you try to adopt to the new environments. Whereas for the AI, they will be building the machines and they can only mimic the human-like behavior. How they will be able to mimic those human-like behavior? By again, by training those models. So a model which for the AI to be more effective, you need to have your constant the models being constantly training themselves. So the AI chatbots or the AI agents which we have these days, they have a concept which is called they have a concept of self-training model. So what exactly is a model? Model is nothing but a series of data set which is working in their background and which keeps on training themselves by using the data which is being fed in by, or the way you are utilizing that AI. Even if it is not having the answers for your queries now, it is actually learning from whatever you are saying, and it adds to its database. So the next time if you ask something of those or similar grounds, it will be able to answer your queries. So that is something how the AI keeps itself effective. But then at the same point of time, the overall turnaround time for an AI to be effective is more as compared to a human brain. The other thing which I would like to show, because we have already seen how the human intelligence is measured. Similarly, we should also see how the AI is measured. So it is majorly measured in 4 different ways. One is the breadth, the other is data requirements, the third is supervised versus unsupervised, and fourth is predictive. Now, predictive is more of how because humans are very predictive in nature. If you try to throw something at a human being, immediately the brain will send a signal that either, so if a ball is thrown at me, the brain will let me know that either you have to catch that ball or you have to make sure that you are just moving away from the line of the ball from where it has been thrown, so that you do not get it on your body. So that's how the predictive measurement is done for AI. Like for humans, brain is very much predictive. So for AI, there are tests which are done to find out how predictive that particular AI engine is. Supervised versus unsupervised is morely about how the AI engines are able to adapt to a change. So unsupervised learning indicates that a learning is being done by self, like the word which I have mentioned, where I have used a term called self-learning models. So if the self-learning models comes under the unsupervised category, supervised category is more where there is a human intervention involved, where you have to sit down and educate that model, add those respective details into that model, train it, and then those AI engines become more efficient. Data requirement is more of how much amount of data has been provided for that AI engine to be more intelligent. So as we all know that it is the Google which has the maximum amount of data in it. So your AI engine should be able to handle those kind of data, because then only you'll be able to answer the kind of questions which a human would be able to would be asking from you, or the AI engine is able to handle those situations. Breadth is more this is more from how AI engine is capable in terms of the broad capabilities. So we try to find out the capabilities of that that AI engine. What are the how diversified it is, how diversified situations it is able to handle at any given point of time. Then moving to the very important question of today, like, will AI replace humans? So now there are various discussions, like I mentioned, and based on what we have seen as well. Now there is a lot of automations in automation in place. There are multiple advantages, like which I have shown, because of the automation, because of the in healthcare sector, you can do remote robotic surgeries as well, and for multiple other sectors as well, it has given a lot of things to us as well, where we have gained a lot. But at the very same point of time, there are few disadvantages as well. Now, from the disadvantage perspective, one of the disadvantage, I would say that uh, at times, if you have to get your query resolved like quickly, so you will not be able to connect to a human, and this is more from the customer service perspective, because so if you are not able to connect to a live agent, you'll have to follow those steps. Like, there will be certain questions which the AI engine will be asking, then you'll be answering those, and if you're not satisfied, then only a human intervention comes in. So at times, even the technology advancement as well can become a challenge. So say for example, the kind of technology advancement is going on these days, where 5G has come into picture more. But then with 5G coming into picture, there's a lot of harm which is happening in for the nature. There are lot many now. I do not have a authentic source to certify whether these informations are correct or not. I have also read in multiple places that with 5G coming into picture, there's a lot of radiations which are coming there, which is harmful for few few species which are available. So those kind of advancements are harmful as it gets. But then at the same point of time, we also need to see that certifying those reasons, you cannot stop the advancement as well. So we need to identify the areas where the AI can actually imbibe in our in this setup and can really help us. Now, specifically in the software industry, the automation is something which is very much prominent. It is helping the organizations, the customers, to give a better quality software back to them. So there it is helping us a lot. Then we have a lot of AI engines which is helping us in creating a lot of presentations. Like we have this chat GPT which answers anything for you. There are multiple other AI tools available which can do things for you. Like it can prepare presentations for you, it can prepare music for you. So there are a lot of AI tools which are available, and using which you'll be seeing a lot of advantages. But then coming back to the fundamental question, like, will it be able to replace humans? So for me, I would say that humans will still exist, because they were, now with this chat GPT, when it became a sensation over the night, there were talks and discussions all across the globe that it is also going to replace the developers as well. So I was in a conversation with couple of my colleagues, and where we were discussing that what exactly a developer actually do while developing a system. There are a lot of thought process which goes, there are a lot of logic building which goes. So all these would be difficult for the AI engine to actually come and do, because ultimately that AI engine is doing things which it is asked, which someone in the background is asking that AI engine to do. So for sure, this is not going to replace, but then yes, we should be smart enough to utilize the AI for our own benefit. Now, the last thing which I would like to cover before we conclude is how the humans are actually superior in multiple ways when it comes to the systems. So now, one is the creativity. Now, creativity is something which cannot be taught to someone. Creativity is something which comes by nature. So in multiple things, like there are people who have creative ways of doing things in their professional world. There are people who decorate their houses using multiple in a more creative way. So creativity is something which is coming in by default inside the humans. So that is something which is better as compared to the machines. Then the logical reasoning, again, because this is something which comes by default, so the logical reasoning of a human being is very good as compared to machines, because machines no matter how you make them smart, how you make them efficient, the logical thinking ability and the logical reasoning ability, the kind of it has with the human brains, I don't think the machines would ever be able to match those kind of logical thinking. Then comes the judgment as well. So because the human brains have that natural wiring where it is able to take the judgment pretty quickly. So that is again is far much better as compared to machines. Intuitiveness, at times how you keep on evolving your intelligence in multiple ways, like by being creative, by imaginative, by intuitive. So and all these things are also done using simulations. So from the intuitiveness perspective as well, it is the humans who are far much better. Then comes to the common sense, which is like your day-to-day thing which you do. So common sense is something which again is very good as compared in humans than with the machines. So overall, if I say, it is all about how how the humans are evolving, how their intelligence gets evolving on a daily basis, on a regular basis, and but at the same time they're also making the machines also even smarter. But by making the machines even smarter, they themselves are also evolving, they themselves are also becoming more smarter. So it is always the human race is in fact one step ahead of the machines, because ultimately it is we who is making these machines. So as per me, it is the machines who actually takes 1 point, the humans which actually takes 1 point ahead of the machines which are there. No doubt, we need technology enhancements. We need these AIs. There is a need of AI, these AI engines, these AI applications, these machines, to keep our or to make our daily life even more easier. But when you ask me whether it is able to replace the humans, my personal feeling is that the machines will never be able to replace the humans, at least completely. So there will never be a chance where the entire human intervention is like gone and it is only machines who's taking care of it. There will always be a human intervention which will be there. It may get reduced, but uh, zero is something which I cannot imagine anywhere in the near future as well. So with this, I conclude this presentation, and I'm open for any questions which anyone would have.
So we are looking at the chat. However, you did one thing that when you took the questions in between, that was also the primary query is placed by the participants. Almost all the questions have been answered, sir.
Okay.
We do see some comments though, which are like positive comments, but questions are not there. So participants, we invite you to put up questions in the Q&A option, or if you are typing something in the chat box, we can read that as well. Before we conclude the session, we wish that we inform you about these questions and answers that you placed. So this is a nice opportunity to ask questions and get replies.
And you can, if there is no questions as of now, my details are there on the screen, so you can reach out
Yes,
to me
sir.
directly as well. I hope you all enjoyed it. You all learned something new, which was one of the intent of this session. And I hope I was able to justify your time of 1.5 to, yeah, it's almost 1.5 hours now. So I was able to justify your 1.5 hours, and by leaving the session, you would feel that these hours, this session was justified.
Sir, we have shared the LinkedIn profile link for Mr. Janmeja. You can be connected with him, and of course, queries and collaborations and discussions can happen later on. Yes, so we wish to thank you, sir, for your time and the insightful presentation in this FDP, and we really look forward to an unending association with you, sir.
Same here. Thank you.
Yeah, and we also invite you for the concluding session after 1 hour. We'll be having the valedictory. Right now, we are just waiting for the next session to start, where Dr. Muskan from the US will be joining us. So we wish to inform all the participants. In a short while, within 5 minutes, we shall be starting with the next session. We have this break of precisely 6 minutes, and then we'll be back with Dr. Muskan Garg from Mayo Clinic, USA. And Mr. Janmeja, thank you very much for being here for the session. And we wish to invite you after 1 hour We'll drop you a message as well when we'll be about to start the valedictory.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks a lot.
Sir.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
So everyone,
So everyone, just a short 5 minutes break for all of you to get back, because we have Dr. Muskan with us, and she's joining us right in the very early morning, we would say. So maybe we are the first people to wake you up.
Oh, yes. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So we'll initiate just in 5 minutes so that our participants can have a transition break that way. So everyone, we request you all to keep in mind one small thing, that we open the link for 10 minutes for the attendance and feedback for this session as well, which will start in 5 minutes. We shall have attendance at random moments after halftime of this session. And at around 5:15, we'll all be in the valedictory session of this international FDP. Ma'am, just a few minutes and we'll be starting
Sure,
with the
no
session.
problem.
Sure. Attendance link for the second session will be separate, everyone. So please wait for that for appropriate time and get ready for this session as well. Ma'am, you'll be sharing your slides as well.
Screen. Yes.
I hope you have sharing permission, so you can check it once and then allow me to display my screen after that.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, ma'am, a small test. Yeah, ma'am, we can see this.
Okay. Um, how can I maximize the screen?
we do have, yeah, this one,
This one, after the plus one.
We were just about to click on that one. The next one.
No. This one?
This one will be, yeah, this
Okay.
is fine. As it's a PDF, so it will go fine. Perfect.
Right.
Thank you. So allow me to share my screen for once so that we can introduce you. Yeah, we do have.
So we all can start, participants. This is day 5, session 2 of the International Faculty Development Program organized by Amity University in Tashkent. This is the concluding day, and this is the concluding session as well by Dr. Muskan Garg from Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota, United States. And we welcome you, ma'am, and we are also grateful that you gave us this time. And right in the early morning, you also got ready for us and going to give us an insightful presentation. We take this privilege and opportunity to introduce you. So everyone, Dr. Muskan Garg is working as a postdoctoral research fellow at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. She was previously working as a postdoctoral research associate at the University of Florida. Her research focuses on problems in natural language processing, information retrieval, and social media analysis. Her focus is on the research and development of cutting-edge NLP approaches to solving problems of national and international importance, and on initiation and broadening a new program in natural language processing, including a new NLP course series. Her current research interests are causal inference, mental health on social media, event detection, and sentiment analysis. She contributes as a reviewer to the ACM transactions on Asian and low resource language information processing and expert systems with applications. We welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of Amity University in Tashkent and every participant. So the session is over to you. You can share your screen, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for such a warm introduction, everyone. Good evening. And my name is Muskan. So I'm here in Rochester, Mayo Clinic. So I'll be introducing a topic of mental disturbance in social media posts. And then I'll be introducing some of my our newly designed data sets, and then the work which has been already done, and the open research directions which you all can explore in near future with the advent of, as we all know, trained transformers, GPT transformers, which were not so much like they were not so much in use till now, like till last 1 to 2 years, but now they have been adversely used to solve some problems of industry. And I would also like to let you all know that I was also part of MIT University in Rajasthan for a long time. It was for 1.5 years, and it was really a great time. So let's start with the social media and mental health analysis. So if we speak about the descriptive analysis, there is huge amount of analysis which is performed by clinical psychologist, therapist, and many other people who are working in the domain of social computing, social sciences, basically. For social computing, if we talk about social media and mental health, it is usually associated with how the social media is affecting mental health, and also the affected mental health is analyzed in social media in both the ways, in both directions. So social media platform is usually considered to be a platform of self-disclosure. People narrate their stories, their thoughts, beliefs, ideas on social media. Why? Because it is more comfortable platform for them. It's not a social taboo anymore. And people are more interested in disclosing their own thoughts anonymously. If we talk about the background, then there are 1.6 million people in England who were requiring and be on the waiting list of mental health care. And it is estimated that only 8 million people could get specialist help. Okay. And they could not get specialist help because they were not considered sick enough to qualify. So that means the mental health care is not considered to be a very serious disease like few years, 2 to 3 years ago, few years ago. But now, if we talk about automation in mental health care, it is like people have gone beyond just classifying the mental health, and they have gone beyond that. They have actually tried to classify, predict, and also personalize the mental health care. For example, if we talk about Visa is the was the platform. It is a conversational AI agent, basically, which helps to identify, to communicate with people in order to speak to them, in order to communicate with them regarding their mental disturbance. If we talk about social media, why only social media data? Because people are more comfortable in disclosing their information on social media, and they do that with ease because they think that it is an anonymous platform, or the social circle to whom they want to speak to, they add only those people. So that is why they're more comfortable in sharing on the social media platforms rather than sharing on any random platform. Sorry. So for example, Reddit is an anonymous social media platform. And we use Reddit data basically to generate data sets. So why social media? Because we are actually focusing on this thing, as I have explained now. So if we talk about the taxonomy regarding mental health perspective, so there are many different aspects which we can focus on for the research purpose. For biomedical aspect, we need clinicians and medical health cares. And for psychological aspect and social aspect, we need sociologists and psychologists to explore that thing. But the idea of choosing a mental health for computational aspect is to see how computational intelligence techniques are useful in this domain, as we have a lot of digital data, that is social media data, which we are focusing on. So till now, this kind of information is being resolved by classification algorithms. And there are two types of things. One is classification algorithms to identify if a person is into a person is having some mental disturbance or not. And the other one is longitudinal study to understand the evolution of disturbance, mental health disturbance. So that we'll see in a while. So if we talk about level 0 analysis, which has already been performed, or you can say carried out by existing people, we say that there is a social media text on which we have some kind of computational approach. Let's say feature extraction, computational methods. So basic feature extraction, there are 4 types of feature: linguistic features, social media features, users, metadata, multimodal features. And there are 4 types of features basically, which have been explained in my recent publication on mental health analysis on social media. That is a survey. It's a survey paper basically. So you can see that there are 4 different types of feature extraction mechanisms, which have been explained in that paper specifically. Then we have computational methods. So there are different types of computational methods. One is machine learning, deep learning, pre-trained models, and now we are evolving with generative pre-trained models, but they have not been applied for the level 0 analysis as of now, right? So the output could be anything related to mentally disturbed or not disturbed, or also multi-class classification, for example, anxiety, depression, suicide risk, and many more. If we talk about computational approach, so this kind of computational approach, as we have discussed, that classification algorithms and longitudinal study has already been conducted in the past. What the idea is to analyze the reason behind mental disturbance. So our idea is that we already have a text which has been narrated by a person who is mentally disturbed, and their verses. And out of that, we need to identify the root cause. What is the root cause of that problem? Why the person is getting mentally depressed? So this is the kind of causal analysis. This is what we are trying to explore. For example, if we see level 0, we can say that there is an intention of a person to describe that a person is mentally disturbed. So that kind of description is an intent of a user. But if we check the cause and effect relationship, then what is the cause behind that intent of being mentally disturbed? The cause could be anything related to direct interpretable text spans, which we can acquire from the narrated text. So idea is to fuse the information, or to fuse the thoughts of an NLP researcher and clinical psychologist in order to identify direct text spans which can help us with the cause behind the mental disturbance. And if we go to level 2, then level 2 is basically kind of identification of latent cause. That means that if we go even deeper, one step more in depth, then a person will have to, then a clinical psychologist basically identify the hidden information or hidden perspective of a user, why that person is actually behaving in such a way, and what could be something which has with which he has evolved throughout his life, right? So what was the root cause? That is being decided by clinical psychologists. So we are not going up to the level of 2, because if there is some text which is being narrated, we just have to identify the text spans based on which a person is communicating about something, And that those text spans are enough to understand that what could be the latent cause by a clinical psychologist. So we are trying to build level one structure to help the actual practitioners in this domain. For example, if I know what love is, it is because of you. This is a kind of discourse analysis which has been performed by Sohn. Yeah, this is performed by Sohn and Bayaz, that is causal explanation analysis on social media. So basically, this was presented in EMNLP in 2018. And in this paper, what they have done is they have tried to identify a cause and then also explanation. But the problem is they have used Facebook data, and that Facebook data is not available as of now. And also we have seen that for causal analysis of mental health in social media post, there is no data which is available. It wasn't available till last year. So, yeah, so we can see that this is the cause detection and causal explanation. So we have like what kind of data sets were existing and what we have introduced. So there were a lot of data sets which are available with respect to mental health analysis for depression detection, and then suicide ideation detection, then stress detection, suicide versus depression. So there is a huge amount of data which is already available in the existing literature, but there was none available for causal analysis, right? So this is the data which we have proposed, and we have proposed it in 2022 in LRIC, Language Resources Evaluation Conference. It was held in France. Sorry for the slides up and down. So yeah, this is the social media corpus. Let's say this is the social media corpus. So this is the text which is being communicated by a person on social media. And then we need to detect, let's say there is a cause detection, right? So this paper, this previous paper of causal explanation analysis on social media, they are detecting what is text. And yeah, this is, they're detecting if there is any cause within the text or not. So if there is any cause, then we will mark it as 1, otherwise we will mark it as 0. And if there is any cause, then what are the text spans which are indicating that thing? So after 2 years with no job is the text span, which we have observed in T1. So this text span is observed as a causal explanation. So similarly, we see that, however, there are many other mental health conditions which needs to be tracked, right? We need to categorize them into something specifically, right? First, we need to detect. And if it is present, then only we can obtain some kind of explanations. So what we have added into is that there are different kinds of categories. Let's say 0 means there is no cause, because we have taken 0 and we need to derive it towards the next level also. So that is why we are taking 0 as no cause, and then 1 as bias and abuse. The second category will be jobs and careers, and third category will be medication. Fourth category will be relationships, and fifth category will be alienation. So alienation basically means that whenever you are consistent with your work or job role, and then you get boredom and you have no motivation to live, and you are kind of there is something lagging in your life, and you're not even able to communicate your feelings. So that is called alienation. You do not feel like getting up from the bed. You do not feel like doing anything. So that is an alienation. Relationship means any kind of relationship, marriage, affairs, anything which is with respect to relationships, any problems. And it can also be a relationship of parent-child relationship, or even grandparents, or any other kind of relationships. Related to medication is something which will be associated with the medicines which a person is taking, an accident which a person has met to, or anything with respect to physical inactivity or physically unwell or something like that. And then jobs and careers are related to education and vocation and intellectual thoughts. And bias and abuse is also it is more related to racism and body shaming and everything. So all these kind of categories are set by clinical psychologists. And what we did was we have classified a given text into these categories. For example, if we take T2, panic attacks and insomnia is deteriorating my mental peace. So panic attacks and insomnia is basically something which is physically being seen by a person and experienced by a person that is related to medication, right? Similarly, if we talk about T4, unable to cope up with my grades and university exams. That means grades and university exams is something which is indicating that a person is talking about his jobs and career thing. So we need to determine this thing, my grades and university exam, and then we need to come up with jobs and careers thing, right? And then we can see that this is a kind of a problem formulation. We are picking up the corpus. We are having a process of cause detection. Then this will be inferencing the cause, and this will be then again be categorizing this cause. So this paper was introduced last year. So let me tell you the problem formulation. Basically, this is a very small part of an overview of model development. So the idea behind model development is that during COVID times, as we all know, that we have some kind of causes and consequences. For example, let's say if we talk about people who stay at home and they were socially isolated or socially, there is a kind of social distancing term, right, which was introduced during COVID pandemic. So during those times, we have seen that people are more expressive on social media rather than being expressive towards one-to-one, because they do not have any social life because of that lockdown, right? So that is why people were getting more and more disturbed. Why? Because there was a certain mechanism of their lifestyle which was being disturbed, right? So there are many wellness dimensions based on which a person lives. For example, physical aspect, social aspect, intellectual aspect, vocational aspect, and then we have emotional aspect, and then spiritual aspect. So these kind of aspects are basically kind of a consequences which are faced due to some cause. For example, if a person, if wife is living at home, right, and husband is staying at home and he's demanding a lot of food, every now and then, if a person is demanding food from his wife, so she will be irritated, right? She will be like, why do I need to take care of all these things, and everything is chaotic here, and she's getting mentally disturbed, right? So this impacts her mental health, and that is basically a cause. Like, that is not only one specific cause, but there could be many multiple causes in such scenario. Like, for example, her child is also disturbing her and she's not getting any me time, and she's kind of getting mentally disturbed. So this was a state of mind for a very common household activity during pandemic times. We all, like, no offense to anyone, and I'm not making any comments on discrimination, but yeah, these were some activities which were observed by clinical psychologists, and we saw that there is some kind of cause based on which we have some kind of consequences of well-being, right? And which is inducing a seed of mental disturbance. And slowly, if a person is not doing his activity well, for example, wife is not performing her activities very well, so what will happen is people will start telling her that she's not performing well. And then she will have low self-esteem that, okay, she's not a good performer. And so that is why this induces low self-esteem, and she cannot even express this thing to anyone because all people are living in the same scenario. So that is why she will also feel loneliness, right? So this loneliness, so this is called interpersonal needs. So during interpersonal needs, you need to be connected, socially connected and socially bound with the society. And the other thing which is required is your self-esteem should be very high. You should have you should be content with yourself. You should have self-compassion, right? You should be able to forgive yourself for your past mistakes, and you should be like, celebrate yourself. So if this is not there, then the consequences are that you have low self-esteem and you have loneliness, which is aggravated to thwarted belongingness and perceived burdensomeness. And similarly, we have a kind of, when this get aggravated, this converts mental disturbance to subclinical depression, and which converts into clinical depression. And this, when this aggravates, it goes towards suicidal ideation, and which stands on suicide risk. So basically, after that, people commit suicide attempt. So this is a kind of a model which needs to be examined. So let's say we are having some data set samples. So this is a data set, that's all I can really say. Nothing is worth the effort. I don't think I'm capable of taking steps to improve my life, because I just don't even fucking care. Why try? I just so this is like a person is expressing his frustration and a kind of alienation. So nothing is worth the effort means that person is does not want to do anything, because he does not find anything else to be constructive enough, right? So this is the alienation. Similarly, if we talk about hospitals, for example, in third example, we have hospitals, right? And then scars, cynicism. So there are kind of medical terminologies which are being used to express the physical issues of a person, right? Genetic tendencies and all that stuff. So this is related to medication. So by the way, we have not done any kind of labeling. Labeling is being done by the annotators who are trained by clinical psychologists. So we have this kind of data set. We have determined the cause and also the inference. We detect the cause. If it is available, then what is the cause? And then what is the inference of that cause? So in this aspect, we saw that there are different, so we actually acquired 3 different corpus. Like one is crawled corpus, then we have STCNL training data, STCNL test data. STCNL data is the data which was already existing. It was given by Hague in 2008. 2020, it was given by Hague, and it was very new data set of 2000 samples. Now we, since 2000 samples, he used that data set for depression versus suicide, and it has nothing to do with causal analysis. So we actually annotated that data set for a causal analysis. And also we crawled some more data because we are having more classes. So that is why we crawled some extra data in order to come up with the appropriate number of instances. So we moved this data to more than 5,000 samples. So it's about 5051 samples. Why? So we have a question: why images are not taken into account in deciding mental illness presence? So, so the idea is that we can take the images into account, but that would be a multimodal data development, right? So multimodal data development, you need more resources, and to be honest, you really need something beyond clinical questionnaires. So what we have used to annotate the data for this specific data set is that we have used some kind of clinical questionnaires which are well established and being read by a psychologist. But if you talk about the images-based data, we do not have any specific questionnaires or very well-grounded psychology-driven questionnaires to annotate images, right? So that is why we are just considering text data. Plus, for example, we are building a conversational agent, right? If a conversational agent is being developed, for example, ChatGPT, how would you give images to that ChatGPT, right? So that is why we have not taken into account any kind of images. It is this this research is to support the conversational agents so that it can at least understand the perception of a user, the cause, consequences, and develop this kind of a model in order to come up with the mental health analysis. So please let me know if you have, if I have answered this question, if your question is answered.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
Participants can also keep on putting questions in Q&A. We'll keep a note of it for the conclusion of the session.
Sure, please keep posting questions and I'll be happy to answer. So next is that although we have this kind of problem, so the problem is that we saw that the corpus, the length of the corpus varies from 1 to 2000, 3000, and even 4000, right? So what is the issue? Issue is that if we are using pre-trained transformers or even deep learning mechanisms, then they actually accept very small number of like 500 and maximum 512 words to, you know, process the data, that too if you have GPUs, right? But you need a really huge number of GPUs to process the data beyond that, like 2000 or 4000 length, because it will basically make the model complex, right? It will it is a quadratic model, so that is why it will make it more complex. So we cannot increase the length to so much. So the one idea is to try using key phrases extraction or summarization, which is now possible with GPT. At that point of time, we were not aware about this. So that is why we have not tried it yet. But you guys all can try summarization and then try to come up with something which is if the causal analysis is there or not. So I'm just trying to give some directions, future research directions, which can help you to explore this data set further. And yeah, we always welcome collaborations. So let me know if there is anything I can help you with, anything else, right? So next is imbalanced data set. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you that this data set is highly imbalanced. So that could be the reason of its low performance. Yeah, it is performing not very good right in this scenario. So if we see experimental results, so we've seen that logistic regression and CNN plus LSTM is performing 47%, 50% and 47%. And if we see pre-trained models, we have applied pre-trained models and we saw that the accuracy went up to 65%, but not more than that. So we are still trying to explore some more models, and we would also suggest you to explore more models so that we can come up with a solution towards this data. So there are the research gaps and challenges. Long and complex text in the real-time social media data is a challenging thing. And then we have availability of data sets for causal analysis, which was not there till now, but we have introduced it. So there are some kind of ethical constraints due to sensitive nature of data. And we have explainable AI models for causal analysis of mental health illness. I mean, we need to propose explainable models. So we tried to work on setting up the baseline for explainable AI models, right? Okay, we can skip that. Yeah. So there was another, before we go towards explainable AI models, I would like to introduce you another paper on causal analysis and perception mining. So what kind of inferences did we, okay, so we have a question before we go to next slide. What is the impact of social media on our children's health and on their studies? Okay, yeah, that is a good question, but it's kind of off track. Like we are not actually analyzing the impact of social media on the children's health, which can be a good, very nice question. I mean, which can be a good research question. But I think there are too many research papers on this, that how it is impacting children's health, adolescents' health, and how college students are being affected. and how their studies are being affected. So what happens is that one research which I have come across is that, let's say people are using Instagram these days, right? They're trying to post their stories, their information about themselves, videos, images, and reels. They make reels, right? And they want other peoples to like it and to view it and comment on it. So they try to get into that trap of getting image conscious, right? They want to establish themselves as a good image, like as a kind of influencer, right? Everyone is trying to do that, influence people. So this kind of things, this is a kind of a race. It is kind of accelerating things in their minds, and when their minds get occupied in a specific direction and too much, then it keeps on adding on layers into their minds, and this may help in their studies. So this is something which I have seen as in one of the research papers, but this is a kind of off-track question from this work. So I'm not sure if I have answered your question or not. How can we reduce the stress of social media's impacts on children's health? Yeah. So we are not trying to solve anything because we are not clinical psychologists over here. So the idea is to detect. So our task is to detect the problems, mental disturbance in the communication, right? So next question, there was another question.
There was one thing someone has asked, Dr. Juhi Jain, from where to get the data set? I mean, this is just one small
Yeah, a
question in
data
the
set
chat.
is publicly available. Data set is publicly available on GitHub link. Okay, I can share that link if you want, but we can do it in the end, right? I will share that data link in the end, no problem. So thank you. I am so happy that people are interacting. So yeah. Let's move on to the next slide, that is causal analysis and perception mining. So if we talk about causal analysis and perception mining, like if we talk about the social media data, people used to use social media data. They pick up their text, pre-process it, okay, and then they kind of apply some kind of classifiers, like either binary classifiers or multi-class classifiers, and then they compute that thing to predict if there is any kind of mental disturbance or not, or what kind of mental disturbance can be there. So this is a level 0 analysis. As we can see that AI models use computational intelligence for identifying and predicting mental disorders from social media. So this was the complete pipeline, right? Now, what we are adding to this pipeline is perception and effect. Like what kind of perception can be there of a person while it is impacting the mental disorders. For example, what are the person's beliefs, morals, and what is its identity? So, there are multiple data sets which are available for moral foundations, and for beliefs you can use the stance detection data set, and this is a very ideal scenario to work on this data, like in this part. The other thing is that there is a causal analysis kind of a thing in which we detect the cause is existing in the text or not. Then we infer that what are the text spans which are representing some kind of a cause in the mental health, right? And then we have cause categorization. We have some question, I think. Yeah, if we want to use the
There is one.
real-time medical data set means we have to get official permission from Indian Medical Council. Is there any other points to collect the data? Okay, so if you are speaking about official, I'm not talking, I'm not sure which real-time medical data set you want to consider. If you're talking about EHR data, then there is a very popular EHR data, Mimic 3, Mimic 1, Mimic 2. Now we have Mimic 4 also. So Mimic data is the one which you can explore to check EHR medical data. If you want to explore medical data sets, then Mimic is publicly available. Mimic is the data set which is publicly available. Other than this, we also have one more data set which is available by NIH, which is made publicly available by NIH. I am not, I could not recall the name, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will let you know. This is given by NIH, public data, NIH USA, that is National Institute of Health USA, which publicly gives you data based on your queries, but you have to develop models on the same platform by logging in. If you register there, if you log in there, you can get data, but you have to build models. They will give you, like, you can develop collab notebook or something like that to resolve the problem. And to my surprise, there are very few number of research papers which have been published on that, and that data set is very underexplored, which is given by NIH. Yep, and these are the data sets which we are talking about, real-time medical data set. I work here at Mayo, and I know that it is very difficult to release data set. Not possible actually. So the day one, when I joined here, for 2 days at least, I got the training that data is very private, it has privacy, you cannot share it with anyone and all that stuff. So this happens in every hospital. So I am not sure if there is any other data set which is available. But yeah, we work on social media just to avoid that problem, because there are more insights from social media data regarding mental health than from the EHR data. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Yeah, based on perception mining, beliefs, morals, and identity. And then, yeah, this we have discussed, right? So this perception mining and causal analysis kind of a thing leverages this pragmatics and discourse analysis, which is beyond semantic analysis. Till now, we have been thinking about we have been thinking about as morphological analysis, lexical analysis, syntactic analysis, and semantic analysis. But now we need to move towards discourse analysis and pragmatics, right? In order to work on higher level problems, for example, personalization. So let's see the next problem of explainable AI. What text reveals a hint to causal categorization? What are the interpretations and what are the causal explanations? Here we have, sorry, it's not under review with ICONIP, it is accepted in ICONIP. So now, now this paper is accepted in ICONIP. So in this, what we have done is we have used this gridded data set. We have built some end-to-end classifiers and a prediction model. This is a causal categorization task, which we have already discussed, right? Now, next, what we are doing is we are using this prediction and this data set to find explanations for causal categorization. Now, these explanations are extracted using LIME and integrated gradient. So there are some, very well-established explainable models for explainable AI. For example, LIME, SHAP, and integrated gradient. So we used LIME and integrated gradient to find explanations. Now we find these explanations and we use these explanations and this data set, these interpretations, which we have already have as ground truth in the data set, which we have already discussed before. So we compare these explanations and interpretations with each other and find semantic similarity using cosine similarity and word mover distance, and we found some results. Now this is something which we have observed. Let's say 5 years now and still no job, I'm done with my life. 5 years now and no job. So these were the inferences, okay? No job, done, life. Inferences means the ground truth information, which was already given by the clinical psychologist. Causal category is the category into which it has been identified as right category into which it has identified. For example, jobs and career. Now, explanations which is given for this text by our model, the best model which we have developed is no job, done, and life. And how is 5 years now no job associated with no job, done, and life? Right? So bad things, inevitable, worst. Similarly, bad, worst, happen, alive. So these are the words which are associating with the, like, which we compare in order to come up with the associations, like how well we predict the explanations. So this was the accuracy, as we told you before. And now what we have done was that even we have low accuracy, still the classes which we observe, the right ones which we observe, if we check the explanations of correctly identified category, then we get it 78% or 80% or 80. Can you can see that class 2 category is most representative. Why? Because class 2 is related to jobs and careers, which have very specific words. For example, college, admission, grades, job, office, work. So these are the very, the category which has least number of words, like least variation in the words, that will help us more to get explanations. So Lyman integrated gradient is applied, and yeah, this has been set as a baseline, but you can explore some more explainable AI approaches if you want on this data set. So the idea of next, what we are trying to do is we are trying to build up a causal analysis model. Now, this model is regarding the cause detection, right? And then we have a corpus. After detecting this, we have a corpus for explanation and categorization both. So there is a kind of hierarchical multitask classification problem. Hierarchical means there is a social media post. Is there any existing cause or not? If there is any existing cause, then we will go towards the causal category and explanation, right? I'll tell you how. For example, I hate my job. You consider this example very carefully. Now I will explain you what are the three different problems based on this example. I hate my job. I can't stand living with my dad. I'm afraid to apply to any developer jobs or show my skills off to employers. I don't even have a car right now. I just feel like a failure. Cause detection. The classification technique which we use to identify whether the mental health text contains any reason or cause behind their intent or not. So causal inference means the NLP task which we obtain to, extract some explanations from a given text after detection. And then categorization is a specific topic specific categorization basically. So for example, if you're using cause detection, right? And in that example A, it shows job, family issues, finances. So it means that there is some kind of cause, right? We have detected some cause. So similarly, we need to identify and answer the question, does the text contain any indicator of the cause behind the mental condition, such as job loss or health or in the family? Okay, in that specific scenario. So this question has been generated for cause detection. So let's say there were, sorry, not let's say, but yeah, there were 5,551 samples, and out of them, 694 were not having any cause. And so the number of samples which are there for causal analysis further is 357. So for that, we need to infer that what are the text spans which are helping us to determine the cause, and what is the category of the cause. Now we have used some pre-trained models on explainable causal categorization. we have not used the cause detection because we have filtered them, and we have used only 4,357 samples for explainable causal categorization. And we use some kind of pre-trained models, and we found this as a result and found that long former is performing best. Why long former we used? Because there is a huge amount of input text, right? Either we use some kind of pre-trained transformers, which works on the text, large text or long length text, or we summarize it and then we use some kind of classification task. Now, the future work in this is that we can use some kind of GPT models. We can use data augmentation as the data set is very much imbalanced, and we can use some kind of discourse analysis for this kind of data set. Okay. Then we also can infuse some kind of external knowledge, for example, the definitions which we have used, or some kind of clinical questionnaires we can induce, or similar things, right? Next, we have open research directions for interpersonal risk factors. So this was the model which I have already discussed with you, right? Based on that, if we talk about thwarted belongingness and perceived burdensomeness, we can see that if it gets infused, then it builds up a desire for suicide. Okay, and desire for suicide does not mean that a person is going to commit suicide. There should be a capacity for doing suicide, and which is not positive anyhow. I'm not saying that it is a positive direction that you should have a capacity, or it is a good thing. But yeah, if you don't have a capacity to do suicide, then there will be definitely a suicide attempt. If we talk about interpersonal risk factors, so there are two factors: thwarted belongingness and perceived burdensomeness. Let us discuss this. Do we have any other question? My research is on cardiac MRI segmentation and disease detection. I used MS datasets, which is available in online. Is there any other dataset? See, I do not work in cardiac MRI segmentation or disease detection. I suppose it is an image processing task, and it is completely related to cardiology. And this is not the direction in which I work in. So I cannot suggest you any data set or anything like that. But yeah, I would suggest you to explore that NIH data set, which can help you to find some data set. Yes, it can definitely help you. Because in that, everything is available. All the data sets for medical domain are available. Yeah. Next is related to thwarted belongingness, which means that a person is feeling disconnected from the world. Like when the feeling of loneliness and isolation is aggravated to a very next level of severity, then it turns out to be a thwarted belongingness. And if we say that a feeling of low self-esteem or burdensomeness, that a feeling of being burdened on the society is being aggravated, then it becomes to then it comes down to perceived burdensomeness. So these are the two different concepts which have been introduced in clinical psychology. And for example, college life is really fun. I have a concert tomorrow. So it's really fun. And I have a concert tomorrow. So having a concert is a cause. Because they are having a concert, so what is the consequence? Consequences, it is having fun, right? So this is a kind of cause and consequence. And now let's see that after 2 years down the line, a person is feeling refusal of his proposal, right? He proposed someone and he's getting refused. So that means he's feeling lonely, right? And useless me means a kind of like he's expressing that his low self-esteem. He's not celebrating himself. He's into a kind of low zone of his, right? He's saying bad words about himself. That means he's having low self-esteem. So feeling alone, lost all my friends, no one understands me. This is a thwarted belongingness. I feel aloof. I do not belong to this world. This is perceived burdensomeness, which is identified. So this is a kind of interpersonal risk factors which have been associated. Now let's see this thing, and let's say this is an example. Can you tell me which of these are thwarted belongingness, and which of these are perceived burdensomeness? Just write down in the chat below. Just write down in the chat below that which among these text spans have thwarted belongingness and which of these are related to perceived burdensomeness. Just take 2 minutes. Okay, Juhi said that I wasn't invited was thwarted. I wasn't invited was actually, yeah, we can say that it is thwarted, but if you closely associate it with the thoughts, yeah, so it means that if I wasn't invited, that means that I'm burdened to someone, right? That is why I wasn't invited. So that is more related to, yes, burden for the society is perceived. Absolutely correct. And then I wasn't invited also means that I was having a kind of like, he was having a feeling of burdensomeness. Like he was feeling that he's having a burden on the society. So that is why he wasn't invited. Okay. And how about miles away from any family? Live miles away from any family. I have no friends. Alienated myself. So yeah, these are these are actually the words which needs to be determined in order to make a comment about this thwarted belongingness and perceived burdensomeness. So this is done by practitioners and therapists. So yeah, this is interpersonal risk factor. And if you see this example, so these are the purple words are the words which will tell you that, okay, this is something related to perceived burdensomeness, and red words will tell you how it is associated with the belongingness. And if we talk about modeling this, let's say we have social media data and we have a kind of data storage, and that data storage is qualitative analysis and longitudinal analysis of self-reported text, right? So we use researchers, we use information from researchers, we take their help, we use clinical questionnaires and mental health practitioners to formulate either a ground truth or infuse the external knowledge in order to build new models, okay, for training and evaluation. And then we build this computational model for evaluation of suicide risk. So we use this kind of interpersonalization, like for personalization, we use this interpersonal risk factors. For example, we are thinking beyond the low level analysis of classification and prediction. We are moving towards personalization basically, because interpersonal needs are something which is very personal. For example, in this isolation, feels like never waking up again. Isolation is something related to belongingness, right? And feels, then we have she broke up. Broke up is also related to isolation somehow. But jerk and useless, and then parasite are something which is related to burdensomeness. So this is how we are determining interpersonal risk factors. And we are trying to build some data set for that. We have built this data set for absent and present of thwarted belongingness and perceived burdensome, which again is imbalanced, right? And if we see the differences, then if we see 1:1, like TBE and PBU, they both are 0, then it is 1, 1, 2, 3. But as belongingness gets 1, so it is increased. So basically, the idea is to see that to what extent perceived burdensomeness increases if thwarted belongingness gets increased. right? So basically, if you check this thing as perceived burdensomeness is 0, so it is increasing 0.11, that is 11%. And with increase of TB and PBU, the increase goes towards 0.43, that is 43%. So 43% increase is much higher than 11%. So we can see some kind of a pattern in increase in TBE with respect to PBU. So if we see future work, in near future, we can use some kind of generative pre-trained transformers. We can infuse the external knowledge. We can use interpretations or explanations as which facilitates future research and developments for explainable multitask models, right? And apart from that, we have some more data sets for you. One is loneliness data set, which is still now for rated data set. We do not have any kind of loneliness data set. So we have introduced this data set. I live in the country that I don't want to live in, and there's nothing I can do. So there is nothing which is indicating lonesomeness. Not so much that she dished me, but that I'm alone and as usual, right? I'm alone as usual is triggering the mental health problems. So basically what loneliness does is it triggers the mental health problems, and we need to determine the users who are at risk. Okay. So we have wellness dimensions. Next is wellness dimensions. For example, we are having a chatbot. How are you feeling today? So the other person says, I am not fine. So what's in your mind? I'll always be alone in this world. So alone is the word which has been triggered. So we need to classify wellness dimensions. Now, Dunn has proposed 6 wellness dimensions based on which we find a specific aspect. For example, it could be a physical aspect. It could be physical aspect, social aspect, intellectual aspect, vocational aspect, and spiritual aspect and social aspect. So we've determined alone, that is lonesomeness, as a social aspect, right? With whom are you most connected to? I feel disconnected from almost everyone and everything, right? So basically, this is how it is carrying on its conversation. So wellness dimension detection is another task. And we have determined multi-class classification for that, for this data set. We have given that data set. Yep, and this is my email ID. If you have any other questions, even after this session, you can send it to me. And this is my website. You can refer me to on this website, like www.dearmuskan.in. So this is my website. So yeah, now we can take up your questions. I think, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So the session is open for questions, participants. Please feel free. Your questions should be related, of course, to this very comprehensive domain, which moves on from technology to a very subtle help, ma'am, because the moment you reach the chatbot thing, like it brings the technology in use or the models or the studies in use. So participants, please feel free to put up your questions either in Q&A or in the chat box. And Dr. Muskan is also looking at the chat box as well as the Q&A herself as well, as she took time to answer the questions in between. So participants, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box or in the Q&A. Yes, ma'am. So we are just having a look and waiting if they want to put up any questions.
Sure. I'll be happy to answer that. And meanwhile, I'll just try to add a link for dataset.
Yeah, ma'am, you mentioned that.
Can you please share? Yeah, that I'll share it.
Yeah, you can also
Chat.
put it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the
I'm putting
dataset.
it to everyone now.
Yeah, this is the CAMS dataset, which is has already been published. The dataset for wellness dimension and the dataset for perceived burdensomeness and thwarted belongingness is under communication with ACL 2023. So if it gets published, then definitely we'll share it with you. Unless we are in working in some kind of research collaborations, we have shared with everyone with whom we are working in the research collaborations. through a kind of a signed agreement.
Yes, ma'am. So
If you want
like
those data sets, I
I,
can share with the signed agreement. Yeah, tell me.
yeah, ma'am. And we have shared your email ID and the website in the typed
Yes.
format in the chat as well. So if someone wants to keep a copy of it for the connections with you, they can. You have, yes, ma'am. We have also added it. And
Okay.
that is an easy thing to remember. I would say that that's Muskan
Sure.
PhD at gmail.com. So participants, feel free to put up questions. Like, what is the amount of emotional maturity that you feel a researcher will get while doing this work? I mean, handling these things and from a technical domain, working with people who are into psychology and psychotherapy, like which is a core
Yeah.
to like, because when we teachers talk about PTSD and bipolar, which is in the West known, and to us in India or in this part of the world, people may not be able to identify such things, ma'am.
Yes.
So how do you think like, maturity comes?
Yeah, if I speak about this domain is very, very close to my heart because this is something which has nurtured many people in this domain, especially in America. In America, we really have very aloof life, not so social like India or some other parts of the world. So yeah, people in America has really learned a lot from this domain because this is the domain which helps you to identify the root cause and determine that how that thing has evolved in you. So basically, I always suggest everyone to read a book called Self Compassion by Christine Jeff. And that book is basically, it will help you in every aspect. It will tell you that why you have evolved in such a way, and what can help you to nurture your thoughts, and what can help you to forgive yourself. If you will forgive yourself, then only you will be self-compassionate, and if you can be self-compassionate, you can be compassionate towards others. So it is very much important to be self-observable, self-aware, and self-compassion. So these three things are very much important before you go for any kind of interpersonal needs, right? So has been a very, very wide domain, and it has helped people also to work with this. And yeah, then we determine that how people are, upset. People are upset doing nothing, to be honest. There are many people who are doing nothing and they get upset about it. So yeah, we have
True.
one more question.
So, yeah, we have,
Sorry.
ma'am.
Yeah, please go
Srinivas
ahead.
Dayanidhi ji is. So I'll read it. And meanwhile, I have posted the link of, I mean, the title of that book with the writer in the chat box as well, that you mentioned, Self-Compassion, the Proven Power of Being Kind to Yourself.
Yeah.
So Dr. Srinivas is asking, are there any effects on mental health based on materials published on mental health? I mean, someone reads a research paper on mental health and felt that they have an impact on their mental health by reading. I mean, someone gets into research and get influenced or impacted by it.
Okay, yeah, this is a good question. Everyone asked me that thing, that is there anything which has affected your mental health? If you're no, so this is completely professional. See, this is something which should not be judgmental. If you're trying to step into clinical psychology domain, you should understand that you cannot be judgmental at all with anything, right? So this is very much required as a first step. The other thing is that if you're reading that, it doesn't mean that you need to take everything personally. You are professionally doing your work, right? So your mind should be working professionally. So it doesn't think. The only thing is that whatever you think when you're doing research and mental health analysis means that you're contributing towards society for their betterment. And even if one person or very little number of people, or even if one person gets beneficial with your work, then it means that you have done a lot for the society, right? So you're contributing something towards the society. You need to take it very professionally, and you don't need to take everything personally. So I would suggest, yeah, this is the right approach towards working in this domain. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, it is like a researcher might be, should prefer to create a separate piece, I would say, while doing research for themselves. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muskan Garg, and we are thankful to you for this relevant as well as insightful presentation. Now we feel that all the participants have asked their questions, and this takes us to the conclusion and a new beginning of understanding for all of us into AI, ML, and related domains. We shall be moving on to the valedictory session now, and we request you to stay for some more time with us. Dr. Anand Nair has joined, and we do
Sure.
remember the prizes, and we'll be sending you all the email IDs, sir. We do have it as copy pasted in the message. So give us just 2 minutes so that we can get all other resource persons also. And it's a small ceremony of displaying your appreciation certificates here, but we do have a lot of appreciation coming from all the participants in terms of personal messages, emails, as well as the comments that we got. So in 1 minute, we'll be getting back with all other resource persons as well. Thank you, Dr. Muskan. We are grateful to
Thank
you on behalf of the Amity University in Tashkent. Thank you.
Sure.
I'll share my screen now with the valedictory slide, man. Thank you.
We can start with it.
Yes, yes. Now Hemlata ma'am has also joined us. Anand sir joined us. Mr. Bauer is also there. Dr. Nana is also there. Nana ma'am, if you permit, can we start?
Yes, please. 1 minute. So screen sharing, huh?
So everyone, to all the participants, to all the resource persons with a salute, we start this valedictory session, which is more than the expected one because we have got a good feedback from all the participants who are happy with the prizes, who are happy with the learning as well. These are our resource persons on your screen. We'll proudly read their names to all of you. You know them more than us now. Dr. Ajanta Devi, Dr. Anand Nair, Mr. Janmejay Rai, Professor MC Govil, Mr. Libin from CDAC, Dr. JP Singh, Dr. Hemlata, Dr. Muskan Garg. Thank you very much for joining us, and everyone from the university here, Amity University in Tashkent, along with all the Amity fraternity members across the globe, we appreciate for these excellent sessions and express our gratitude. So we are going to move ahead to conduct this valedictory session. I'm honored to invite Dr. Naina Chaudhary, Deputy Director, Amity University in Tashkent. Ma'am, over to you, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all the speakers, to the members of organizing team, and to all the faculty attendees that have joined us. I'm happy, but I'm sad also that we have reached to the closing of such a beautiful journey of learning that has been happening for last 5 days. It was an amalgamation of some very, very learned people from the one corner of the world to the other corner of the world, from India, Vietnam, US, Oman. When I was seeing the profile of speakers, it's like, and the kind of things that we have discussed, even if a person from the non-technical background, it triggers the need to understand what is this AI and what wonders it is doing. And I think that is the future. And this has really triggered the participants also, and personally to me, to understand it, go deeper into it and explore more about it. So thank you for generating this new need of learning, and thank you for this beautiful learning experience. We are extremely grateful for your time, and we wish you all the best from the entire MIT family. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Naina. Thank you very much. So we invite Mr. Babur Abdullah, Director, MIT University in Tashkent, to kindly share his valuable ideas, thoughts on this valedictory day. Sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parveen. I would like to first of all thank all the participants, because these kind of meetings and events are done for the participants only. Thanks so much for your willingness of learning. Secondly, for your patience. And of course, I would like to thank all the everyone who are able to, who are great to share their knowledges. Those who are ready to share whatever they learn, whatever they know, are the best people in the world. I'm sure about it. Not as a teacher, I as a person, everybody understand that the sharing is more important than learning also. And what we are doing here as MIT is we're trying to put everybody's hands together from all around the world, so many people, to learn the new things, understand from each other what is the new trends. And the topic which was chosen by the organizing committee is the best, great topic, which is the future of the world. I'm sure about it because I'm myself a person from the IT background. And when we're speaking about AI, machine learning, all these subjects, this is the future where world is going. I was happy to see that we are sharing the knowledges about all these aspects. Thanks to all the organizing team, especially our department, headed by Dr. Praveen Kumar, Dr. Seema, Dr. Parveen Kumar. You are doing all the great things to join everybody together. One more time, we are always ready to have more interactions with all the participants and the session delivery persons for the future also. We are ready to organize a lot of such events in person also in our campus. And one more time, thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So here we come to the moment where we do need to salute and celebrate the coming together of such excellent spokespersons of knowledge and learning. So first, we wish to honor Dr. Ajanta Devi for this wonderful session she delivered, and this is appreciation certificate to her from the side of all of us, Amity University in Tashkent. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
We put up our hands together. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. So taking the journey ahead, Dr. Jyoti Prakash Singh took us to a very insightful session and learning. We thank you, sir, for your presence as well. You joined us from NIT Patna from India. Professor M.C. Govil, Director, NIT Sikkim. We put these words of appreciation for you. Thank you, sir, for joining us. This is the appreciation from our side for you. We move ahead. All the participants are joining us. For Dr. Hemlata, thank you very much for being with us. This is appreciation and salute to you for the learning and the knowledge imparted in the FDP.
Thank you, sir.
Dr.
Thank you very
Anand
much.
Nair. Thank you very much. So Dr. Anand Nair, you're going to be remembered and going to be called again as the prize person that way. So you become a prized possession for us, and the participants will be getting the prizes very soon from your side. We'll be sending the details. Thank you very much for your wonderful presence in this International Faculty Development Program.
I would like to add here that my faculty had personally come to me to say that we must have a dedicated session of how to publish the papers in index journals. And we will certainly connect with you again, because this is really important. And I just appreciate the energy that you had throughout the session. Unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a great feedback for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So Mr. Libin from CDAC, thank you very much to introduce us to the indigenous Vega as well. Thank you very much. So we move on to Janmejay Roy, the day 5 and the session 1 today. Thank you very much, Mr. Janmejay Jay, for joining us. We are grateful to you for your time. and taking us
Yep.
from the very first thing of core sciences to the social media and sciences and kind of self-help for everyone. Dr. Muskan Garg joined us from United States right early in the morning. So all these resource persons have made us a very learned person. Everyone, doesn't matter we are from technology or not, we all belong to all of you. We thank all the participants for being with us. We thank all the resource persons on behalf of the complete Amity family around the world. Thank you very much, everyone. And all the participants, please note that the certificates for you, for your attendance will be prepared in the next few days. 11 to 15 April, we start posting the certificates, and till 15th of April, just wait. If you don't get the certificates, just drop us a mail. We are there to assist you. Thank you for your participation. We are posting the attendance link just in a few seconds to all of you. And again, we are grateful to all the resource persons and the dignitaries joining us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are posting the attendance link. Thank you. So the attendance link will be posted and you all can just mark your attendance for us. This is our dear participants, everyone. Here it is. So participants, please note that attendance for all days will be compiled, and we do have the master sheet in which we got registrations from 22 countries, more than 2,000 participants, and we were joined by more than 500 actively in all days as we got the data from the headquarters. Thank you very much for this excellent participation. We are again thankful to all the resource persons, sir. We are going to conclude the session with this attendance, and the feedback comments can keep on coming. We are going to preserve this chat as a motivational thing for us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
And
Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And we
sir,
won't miss thanking, sir, please.
Sir, I will be waiting for the list of the participants as well as the emails so that I can send them the gifts that I have already committed to them. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for details.
I would
actually.
request, yeah, Dr. Seema can just forward the message to you.
Yeah.
And we take this opportunity in your presence.
Thank our IT team at Noida campus and as well as here, and all the members who supported us in this organization of this International Faculty Development Program, which sounds a good beginning, and we believe we shall keep on taking this journey ahead. Thank you very much, everyone.